Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast arena. I'm Danny Vega, talking to my lovely co-host with the co-most via Zoom. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. I was just telling you I was brutally Zoom bombed. Folks, if you haven't heard of this is crazy. A lunatic will get a hold of your Zoom link, maybe your password, whatever. You made the information too public, and then they will jump into your Zoom and cause pandemonium. And this individual chose to say racial slurs and share his screen. I actually believe there were two of them. The second guy, his partner in crime, shared screen a blowjob on Pornhub.
Sheesh, that's the craziest thing you can find on Pornhub. I find worse shit on Pornhub, like on the homepage.
Seriously, I feel, to me, it reeks very much of a 16-year-old, maybe even younger,
Lower.
14-year-old.
I was going to say 13.
Who thinks a blowjob is dirt? A blowjob is like a joke. It's like,
literally, someone who's ever gotten a blowjob thinks that blowjobs are like, ugh.
Oh,
Exactly.
blowjob.
Exactly.
A mouth on a pee-pee.
All the adults are like, okay.
As stupid as it was, so it was, for my company, and the actual kind of like pranks of it but the powerlessness was pretty shocking. Like, oh, I don't want this to happen. There's no way I can unsee it. Like, there's literally no way to block it short of leaving the meeting. And then because I wasn't like the host or whatever, there was nothing I could do. And so this is like on our Twitter. Like, this is on our company shit. And so it's like,
wait,
oh
it's
my
on
God.
your Twitter? Why?
I think they shared the link on the Twitter or whatever. They shared it somewhere public. Maybe it was on a page or a group or something. But whatever. It came from the company.
I see what you mean.
So it's like very alarming. Like, oh my God, my company looks bad. But, I think people know. It was weird. My coworker had just shared a link to, detailing the phenomenon. You've heard of it.
Oh, I just edited. It's funny. I edited an entire article. And the entire article, I thought it was Zoom booming because it rhymes in my head. And then I just read it again and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot.
Zoom boom. That sounds way more fun.
Even internalizing the words in my head. And I was like, Zoom boom, sure. And then I was like, wait, no.
I quote the Mazda commercial. Remember that old Mazda commercial? Whenever I Zoom someone, I go,
Zoom,
like,
zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
Yeah.
That was a really good ad, and I don't remember anything else. None of the content, nothing. Just
no.
So.
I mean, my mom has a Mazda now, so.
Well, there you go. You should
10 years after the fact.
You should do a call in the Mazda, and then you can Zoom while you zoom.
Yes, I will be sure to do that.
And there are a lot of jokes I'm going to make that probably aren't worth it. But guys, these are the Corona times, so we just have to take what we got.
It is what it is.
Oh my God, did you say you had a dating story though? You said something.
Oh yeah, I did.
How is that even possible?
I know. Okay, the state. Oh, no one's out here dating. Like, this is just someone that I was like talking to before the quarantine. BQ, if you will. So, basically, like, it is what it is. Like, we're still in contact. There's not really a lot anyone can do. But, like, I feel like I'd been getting kind of a sense for, like, a week, just of, like, some vague distance. I can't put my finger on it, but, like, I will tell you that every single time I've been in, like a situationship and I felt this way, I've been right. So, kind of the first kind of red flag was like when he made a comment to me like, oh yeah, I was supposed to go on a walk, but it got canceled. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean your solitary walk got canceled? And he was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to go with my neighbor and like it just whatever. And I was like, that's weird. I've been to your apartment like 3 times. I feel like if you were friends with one of your neighbors, it would have come up sooner. Like, I was at a party with a bunch of his friends at his apartment. So I was like, that's odd. And then today, and I texted 2 of my friends and I was like, is this shady? Like, am I onto something or am I insane? That's my favorite game. Really smart or completely losing it. So basically he basically said something to me that was like, he was like, someone asked me if they could do something because they do this. And I was like, oh, what'd you tell them? And he goes, I told her, no, you can't do that. And I was like, interesting, because I was like, why would you use like the they pronoun. I feel like you do it when you're trying to obscure the gender of whoever you're talking about. And then he like accidentally slipped up and exposed himself like one exchange later.
Wait, so he's talking about like a friend or something. He's like, yeah,
like something. Yeah.
They always do this thing. And you're like, they? I thought you were talking about one person.
Yeah, exactly. He was just like, oh, someone just asked me if they could do this. And they tell them. Like, I didn't even think about it until he was like, oh, I told her no. And I was like, interesting. I was like, why wouldn't you just say, because like if it was a friend, wouldn't you just be like, oh yeah, my friend told me this story and I told her like, no, that's crazy. You know, you wouldn't try to like obscure the gender.
No, that's insane. That's a primitive psychological tactic and it was a tremendous failure and I think you're on point.
Thank you. So fuck you, person.
So he's a moron too. I mean, he's not very
good. I'm like, okay, you're trying to be shady. I'm too, whatever. So now I'm like, what do I do with this knowledge? I'm just going to sit on it. I'm going to collect my receipts. I already have my screenshot. And I'm not going to text first.
Good. Well, I say forget this guy. He sounds like a douchebag.
The stakes are low. I mean, the problem with dating in this city is like, I feel like even the people who I think are actually well-meaning and like not talking to multiple people at once are. And it's impossible. I feel like I'm too honest for this game.
Well, Sarah, I got good news. I can promise you I'm the only one talking to you in this one heck of an app.
Thank you.
By the way, we have a new Patreon. You hear about this, Sarah? Big news. Tamra has joined the Patreon.
Welcome.
I've actually communicated with Tamra quite a bit. She's a frequent poster on our YouTube Clips channel. She's always commenting and stuff like that.
Love it.
So great. And she leaves great comments on the YouTube. Unfortunately, those are old situations. So hopefully we'll get some feedback from her. You know, folks, we love to hear it. Now, I did post, we'll open with this, a little joke I got on the Facebook group from my parents. And I wrote AITA for my responses to a joke where Osama bin Laden is the protagonist. And there's a picture of Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was living with 3 wives in one compound and never left the house for 5 years. It is now believed he called the Navy SEALs himself. So, Sarah, first of all, I just want to know thoughts on the meme.
I mean, it's like, I don't know if I'm biased because I know that your parents shared this or it just is, but I feel like I'm like, that's like boomer humor.
Boomer humor.
This would be, if I saw this in one of my Facebook groups, we would tag the group that I'm in that's called Why Get Married If You Hate Your Spouse.
Yes, exactly.
That's my reaction to this meme is like, let me tag my group.
It's a very, I don't even think it's tired. I think it's exhausted joke that you hate your wife. Yeah. And so I just thought it was particularly funny because I happen to be a fan of the movie Zero Dark 30, even though it is CIA propaganda. Look, people, art is flawed, but I think it's a great flick. And I just thought it was funny because the person who found Osama bin Laden was a woman. It was a white motherfucker. And I just thought there was something. So that's what I said. Are you trying to paint Osama bin Laden as someone we should sympathize with? And then my dad wrote, it's a joke. The joke is based on the side effect of being cooped up. It's just a joke. I think it's a good joke.
I don't think it's a good joke, but I think it's a joke.
It is a joke.
There's worse jokes to be made.
It's also trafficking. I also think Osama bin Laden is a very safe place for us right now. We understand that world. That's the 9/11 world. We, good. Osama, bad. Coronavirus, very confusing. Are we bad?
Oh, for sure.
We are bad boys because if we go out, we spread it. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just like, we're bad. Also, the U.S. has been bad in our handling of this.
Horrible. I mean, hilarious. It would be funny if it wasn't so terrible.
Tremendously bad, as Trump would say if he lived on this fucking earth.
She found Osama bin Laden. A woman found Osama bin Laden. So I just want the listeners to know that because these schmucky commenters, what do they know? Christopher T. writes, I think the joke is timely given the whole quarantine thing. And it's absurd enough to not be taken seriously as an attack on women.
Oh, actually, like, surprisingly kind of agree just because I think, like, in middle-aged humor, these jokes about spouses go both ways. And it's not like...
Really?
It's not... I see it all the time. It's like... You joke about the everyone, I feel like people joke about hating their spouse equally. Like, again, I'm in these groups and I see it kind of both.
I'm going to push back on that, Sarah. There's a reason that the line is my wife, because this is always my wife. That's what it is.
I think
it's not my husband. It's not my hubby. It's my wife.
I think you need to join some groups.
Well, I'm not in your
I think there's just a common trope of like hating your spouse. I think it's slightly more directed towards women because there's like the whole like trope of, I don't know, just like, you know, the woman is the ball and chain and, oh, sure, ugly, bald, fat guy. You could totally get it with models if you just didn't happen to inconveniently be married. So, yeah, that is a trope.
Wait, hold on. Take me through that again. So this is a fat, bald guy. That's the image.
It's like, yeah, I'm just like, I feel like men like are like, oh yeah, my old ball and chain, or like they kind of make jokes that imply that like they could be out there running free, but it's like, dude, you're 65 and bald and overweight. Like your wife tying you down is not the reason that you're not getting models. You know what I mean?
Well, wait, I feel like you're agreeing with me. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I am with that part for sure.
Men who say that shit, not women. I never hear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Nikki V writes, YTA, it's a effing joke. Nate S says, I mean, it's a pretty lame joke, but there are far darker 9/11 related jokes that I've laughed at. So you're kind of TA for your indignation on this one. I mean, it's not offensive to me because it's not invoking 9/11. I just think it's obnoxious to me that it is a cheap joke that women are the brunt of the joke. And then it's like, do you fucking know? Why was I the only person to watch fucking, what is the movie called? I can't remember now.
It's your favorite movie. You don't even know the name.
Because the name is weird. No, I've never said those words in that order. Zero Dark 30. What does that mean? It's just nobody saw it. Because my favorite part, Sarah, of that movie is when she's trying to find Osama, she has a theory. And she's like, I know where this motherfucker is because it's like, whatever, there's a freaking hut and there's quiet around the hut. And she's looked at satellite images for 3 years. And she starts writing every single day. She writes a tally on her boss's like window because, it's like a dry erase marker. It's not going to leave a spot. Relax.
Okay.
And she puts there on until it reaches like 91. And that was the amount of time where she's like, I'm 95% sure this is Osama bin Laden. And her boss is like, hey, Osama this, Osama that. I don't know, sweetheart. You're just a wife. Get the fuck out of here. Like, she literally couldn't be heard. That's how the movie paints it. It is CIA propaganda. But it's ironic to me.
I love that. See, I'm telling you, women and our theories. Men, you're not slick. You're not smart. Women's intuition is fucking real. Love it.
Kate R. NTA said, I feel like laughing at this joke is accepting puke-covered pizza based on the fact that it's pizza.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of funny. I think puke-covered pizza is a better joke than this joke.
Puke-covered pizza is great because you're like, puke, gross, covered. Ugh, you hate to hear it. Pizza, I like pizza. It's great. Exactly. It's a beautiful little phrase. Josh F. writes, it's not funny, but obviously they weren't trying to make a point. Not all jokes have to make you feel good about yourself, but it's a hack joke and it sucks. Thank you, Josh.
Yes, I agree with that. Most of my jokes make me feel bad about myself because they poke fun at myself. Right. It is a bad joke, but whatever. Well,
that's how we're wired, that's how we deal with the world. It's like the world is confusing. And so we use the tool of like, let's insult ourselves to get through it. That's my little machete going through the vines of society.
I love that imagery.
But like other people they'll do that. They're just confident and they just talk. And I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I will say, though, Danny, like, I think if I got this thing from my parents share, mostly my dad, well, both of them, whatever. They share, like, so much bad memes that don't even make sense. And as a person who makes memes for a living, I obviously have how good a meme has to be for me to be impressed by it. Mm-hmm. And I rarely push back at this stuff. I usually just, like, keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, what made you start this? Like, what made you start shit over this meme that's like, keep it moving?
To me, like I said, it just happened to trigger me because I saw Zero Dark 30. I got zero conversational mileage out of it. And I'm just trying to make that puppy run, you know?
Did you talk to them more about Zero Dark 30? Was this a good segue?
No, I got tired. I got tired of it immediately when they were just like, it's a joke. I was like, there's nothing to fall. And then I was like, maybe I'm the asshole. And I actually do think I'm the asshole. I want to be clear.
I do too. I think just because you're right that the joke sucks doesn't, I think you're still the asshole for like making this a fight for no reason. There's definitely way worse boomer jokes I've heard out there.
Way worse. And I've let worse jokes fly. You know, this joke just triggered a thing, but I should have shut the fuck up. I mean, it didn't matter. I sent a few texts. Who cares? But I am technically the asshole. I'm the asshole. I own it.
Stakes are low, but YTA.
Well, we got one heck of a juicy up, guys. Our second story of the day, AITA for telling a woman who lives in my complex that, yes, having her husband checks me out turns me on. But first, AITA for refunding the girl who ruined my best friend's wedding by you, hot-blooded. So I was a bridesmaid in a wedding months ago. The bride was pregnant, so we didn't have a bachelorette party, and instead planned one post-baby. The girls Venmo'd me their part. We paid for the bride share, so she paid $0. Backstory. There were 5 bridesmaids. One of them, let's call her Debbie Drama.
That's my rapper name.
I've never seen it. No one's ever done that in a submission, like a really creative, like silly nickname. That's new. That's funny. One of them, let's call her Debbie Drama, brought her boyfriend as a +1. The wedding was absolutely gorgeous in a vineyard, open bar. Bride and groom paid for the bridal party and groomsmen's hotel for the weekend and a wine tour for us and our +1s, including their family, aka big money. We got there on a Friday, wedding on Sunday, checkout Monday. Debbie and boyfriend were both there the whole weekend. Well, come wedding day, Debbie's boyfriend gets everybody's attention right after bride's dad made a heartfelt speech and uses that time to propose to Debbie. Tacky, cringe, all caps is how that was written. Everyone was shocked and furious, which is obviously justified. Bride and groom have a verbal altercation with Debbie and the boyfriend and tell them to check out and leave mid-wedding. They're no longer friends, still. So back to the bachelorette weekend, I get a call saying the trip has been canceled and I'm getting a refund and credits for future use. I forwarded the email to the 5 bridesmaids and bride so they could read about it. I get a call from the bride, furious that I'm giving Debbie her money back. She says I shouldn't give her anything because she ruined her wedding. I told the bride she doesn't get a say in this because she's not paying for the trip. The bride almost feels like she and her husband are due the money, although she hasn't directly asked for it. There's definitely an implication, though. I have no clue what the right thing to do is, but I'm going to give Debbie back her money. Does that make me an asshole?
Oh my God, Debbie's boyfriend, what's wrong with you?
What a huge mistake, but you know.
That's so bad.
A colossal miscalculation.
Yeah, especially because I cut this out, but like he was just her +1. Like he doesn't really know the bride or the groom. Like why? Also, like I don't know, what is it about someone else's wedding that makes people be like, oh, this is my moment?
I think I think there's people who don't understand what a wedding fully is, and they haven't internalized that, and they are not very smart also, but they think they see a lot of excitement around this couple coming together, and they want to be part of that. Because I'll tell you this, Sarah, no doubt in my mind, did this guy think he was doing something wrong?
Well, I feel like most people aren't completely evil, so even when they do a bad thing, they think they're doing a decent thing. Or they think they're doing a bad thing for good reasons.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was doing a bad thing. I think he thought this was fair game. He's a moron. He's not very bright, you know.
Yeah. Well, most people don't think like, oh, I'm going to do a bad thing. I know this is bad, but I'm going to do it anyway. In this type of situation.
Yeah, not in this type of situation. No way. There's nothing to gain.
Exactly.
This was inept. This was a move of colossal ineptitude, failure. It was terrorism. It ruined the wedding. But like, I don't think that was, that wasn't the intent here. Yeah, lock him up forever.
No, I mean, he clearly did ruin the wedding. Like the bride and the groom had to take him outside and yell at him and kick out a bridesmaid.
Now, there's a bunch of postscripts Well, yeah, but it didn't have to ruin the wedding. Also, that's them. That's their drama. Just let it happen.
I mean,
Congrats.
they did let it happen, but then they kicked him out after, which, whatever.
Brutal.
I mean, that's a whole thing, can of worms you don't have to get into, but
Tough but fair.
yeah.
I mean, I'm on my best behavior at a wedding. I'm not going to tell a risky joke at a wedding. I'm not going to roast someone. I'm going to be like, hi, thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.
I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm just going to drink and like hang out with my plus one if I'm granted one.
Right. No, I mean, in terms of offending the people whose wedding it is, I would never be risky or try anything weird. But you know what? This is a thing, Sarah. In fact, I was offered this. I was going on a big fancy vacation, and we were going to one of my girlfriend's family's weddings, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to propose at the wedding?" And I was like, "Really? You're offering this?"
It's like, what, your wedding is low on entertainment? Like the DJ can't come late, so you're planning an event?
No, I mean, it was one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever been to, if not the most beautiful. It was in Colombia. I'd never been anywhere but Mexico. Stunning rooftops, just it was old churches.
Okay, that would have been a nice place to propose, but...
Yeah, well, I think the angle was it's sort of this Coachella vibe of like, look, if we got U2 here, why not have Miley? You know, they don't have the same fans, but people get excited for them.
And your family's already there. Exactly. Or someone's family's already there.
Exactly.
Well, it's nice that they approached you. It would have been completely insane if you were like, oh, here's the moment.
Right. And look, to be honest here, and I don't even know if you know this, Sarah, I'm going to be embarrassed. I asked someone to do stand-up at their wedding, and I didn't know. that was inept and stupid and crazy, but I did it, and it's part of who I am, and I paid for it. Oh gosh.
Was it like about them or just like a general stand-up routine?
No, just a general stand-up routine.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, and they didn't say no. They just kind of went like, okay, you're asking that, okay.
They should have said no also.
They should have just said no, but they didn't. Yeah, they kind of waffled. Weird. And then what ended up happening is I forgot to RSVP, and I RSVP'd 2 weeks late. And then her husband, who I'd never met, called me the slur for gay people and said he would come get me in New York. Me? Yeah, he said he'd come get me if I ever talked to her again. And I was like, okay, well.
So you dodged a bullet there.
I do feel like I dodged a bullet. I think I missed a beautiful wedding, and I'm sad about that. But I still am afraid of this person to this day. I fear him as much as probably that Zoom bomb, like that level of fear that I felt after, shaking.
That is so fucking bizarre.
So crazy.
Well, but circling back to this, I think the thing is, like, people like to make events. People love to make shit about them.
Love to do it. It's their favorite thing. And OP goes on and on with these PSs.
Did you add that in, or did I forget to cut that?
Yeah, I don't need to read these, right? Who cares about these?
There was just one thing that she mentioned where, like, oh, this is what I thought was funny. Debbie wasn't in on the proposal, but she also wasn't remorseful. She told the bride and groom, you guys should be proud and flattered that you got to be a part of my proposal instead of being selfish cunts. Oh, and then after the boyfriend proposed, she had the photographer take pictures and then pulled them out into the vineyard to get pictures of them.
Right.
So then that's why, like, Debbie and the boyfriend are huge assholes. Because it's one thing if your boyfriend makes a faux pas. It's another thing if you're like, oh my God, I didn't tell him to do that. I'm fucking mortified. But, like, she rolled with it and tried to use their photographer for free.
Yeah. Wait. She instructed the photog to take pics.
She, like, pulled their wedding photographer to be like, well, since you're here, why don't you take my engagement photos since I just got engaged?
I guess you're right.
That's like monster
it does say
status.
The photog, so that's where you're getting at. That's messed up.
Yeah.
That is a good way to save money, but it is messed up.
Debbie is a monster. Debbie drama.
Look, going to the actual morality of this here, I feel like clearly Debbie Drama and her boyfriend are not the brightest bulbs. I mean, they probably work like fucking entry-level positions at like Shitco. I don't know who these people are. I don't want to be friends with them.
They're cheap assholes.
They are assholes, and they deserve to be kicked out, and they deserve to not be your friend anymore. However, I do think it would be messed up not to refund her.
I also think that too, because these are two completely separate issues that
Yes.
it's like you can't make someone else a middleman to as a vehicle of like getting you money that you're not involved in. Like
Bingo. This was not an escrow that guaranteed that the bride would enjoy her at the wedding. That's bullshit. You're changing the rules just because you have her money. Give her back her money. This is not about money, right?
No,
like,
I mean, I think it's really about the bride wants to get back at Debbie for being a huge bitch on her wedding day. So the only like somewhat playing field she has is this bachelorette party money.
you know, yes, but I also feel like the B and the G are failing to acknowledge like they should have rolled with the punches a little bit more. It didn't need to go down so dirty.
No, come on.
Immediately calling it tacky? Why? If someone did that on my wedding, I would laugh. I'd be like, go for it. I mean, if that's who you are, go for it. And I would let them do it. I mean, I would have them kicked out. But like to then start an argument with them, I'd be like, don't even fucking talk to me. Just leave. Like, go.
I mean, I just think like people are different and like you might be able to be chill, but these people weren't. And also like now she's taking their photographer away from them. They're paying for it. The photographer, first of all, the photographer is a complete asshole too. Like, why are you letting some random person? Yeah, like, why are you letting some random guest pull you around? Like, they're not paying you. What the fuck? So no, I would be pretty angry.
Well, I think the photographer lives in this world where he's like, is this happening? What's happening? Do I follow this? This is not planned.
Sure, but he should have been like, no, I got to be over there to take pictures of the people who hired me.
I guess when I think about how much planning my girlfriend will have done and how much she cares, I would actually be very angry, and I actually might just punch this person in the face. Like, it's my shit.
I mean, I would be pissed too because, like, I mean, how often is the attention like only on you? Like, I feel like it's not that often. If I had just one day of my entire fucking life, and some asshole tried to upstage me, I would be pissed.
Yeah, Sarah C. writes, Debbie doesn't get what she paid for. She gets her money back. The rest is superfluous information. Her boyfriend is tacky, and honestly, so is Debbie based on her reactions. But ruin their wedding? It sounds like the bride and groom are pretty fucking dramatic themselves. I agree with that. This did not need to ruin their wedding. Fine, it ruined the moment. Fine, they got upset at the time. But like, ruin the whole wedding? Give me a break.
Yeah, well, I do think like two things. I definitely think that you can say that this was like a disastrous moment, but it's kind of on you to frame how you're going to remember your wedding for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Why let this? I mean, that's what I mean. There's got to be a level of like, get away from this negative bullshit. Like, it was a moment. They're assholes. You invited assholes to your wedding. You also have to wear that badge. So that's what you did.
True. You're friends with assholes.
Yeah, they're your friends. Yeah. You invited them.
And then it gives them too much power to be like, these people ruined my wedding. It's like, just let it go.
That's a bullshit.
After the fact. In the moment, totally blow up at them and kick them out. But like, do you want that to be the narrative of your wedding?
Yes, day of, fine, even the next day. But then move the hell on, have the Sunday brunch, and smile.
Just laugh and talk shit about them. I think that's like a way better approach.
Exactly. It's like the Zoom bomb. Like, yes, the Zoom bomb was horrible, but it's the only thing that's happened to me in months, years. I don't even know how long I've been in my apartment. Jacqueline C. writes, LOL, don't be an asshole. Don't refund Debbie. That money should be used and sent to the bride and groom to cover the total interception of the wedding photog to shoot her sudden engagement. Okay. No. Because look, it's like, that's not how these things work. You pay a photographer for their time. You agree on a package. And if that was a moment of the wedding that was worth capturing, which it could have been, then it would be their job to get, it's like, come on.
But also, it's like, if you want money from someone, you have to go to them directly. You can't make someone else like play loan shark for you. Like, if it's Brian and Debbie, and this is a whole separate issue.
It's madness. I mean, it's crazy.
And you you don't punish someone for doing something shitty by being like, all right, well, you're not going to get your completely unrelated charge back. Like, it doesn't teach them a lesson. It doesn't, like, do anything. It's like, now you got a whole set of problems to deal with.
It's just an unrelated thing. That's not going to make them a better person or a worse person. No. This is a disconnected thing. It's a random thing. But now I do think we're going to, is there a problem here? Because like my intuition says no assholes here.
I mean, the bride is wrong for wanting that.
Right. The bride is wrong. But so does that mean it's NTA and the bride's the asshole? I kind of get that the bride would say that.
I can understand why you would want something that's wrong and still be able to say that that's wrong. So I would kind of say that the bride is the asshole, because it's also like, now you're foisting your problems onto your friend and she doesn't want to get in the middle of it. Yeah. And also, like, is a couple $100, because realistically, like, that's probably what this is. Like what is that going to really do for you?
Well, and I kind of like that I get to call the bride an asshole, because I do feel like they're being so dramatic.
Yeah.
So I think then we agree, AITA for refunding the girl who ruined my best friend's wedding, not the asshole, and the bride is.
Yeah.
But now, just so we're clear, this does not include the couple. They're not part of this. They're actually not a moral party to
I feel like they can't be part of it because, like, AITA is typically, like, two-sided.
Yeah.
You can't have three. It can't be a triangle AITA situation.
You're right. We don't have
Then we got to change the abbrev.
One day we will, but not today.
Yeah.
AITA for telling a woman who lives in my complex that, yes, having her husband check me out turns me on. By you, Sky Blue 847. I live in a complex that is built in a circle, so it's like a track. A lot of people use it to run, walk, etc. I've always used it to run/walk as well. I live in Florida, so I usually wear leggings and a sports bra or a tank top. This woman always gave me dirty looks when I'd walk by her apartment. She'd be sitting on her porch. There are a few maintenance guys that walk and ride around on golf carts throughout the day. I soon realized that the dirty look woman is married to one of the maintenance workers. I'm always polite to them, but I've never talked to them by any means. So yesterday I was working out on the tennis court, which is near their apartment. Her and her husband were sitting on the porch. She's giving me the dirtiest looks and is making me pretty uncomfortable, but I try to ignore it. Before I leave, she says, do you like get off on having the maintenance men check you out all day? To which I replied, actually, yes. It makes me super wet. They are what keeps my sex drive high. She looked shocked and her husband started laughing. And then she smacked him on the arm. I came back and told my mom the story, and she said I should be more sensitive, and obviously the woman is insecure. Now I kind of feel bad, AITA.
I gotta say, if you live in Florida, like, the fact that you're wearing even leggings is, like, honestly commendable.
What do you mean? Because leggings are hot?
Yeah. I only started wearing leggings to work out because I noticed that, like, everyone in New York City wore leggings all the time, regardless of how hot it was outside. And I was like, okay, I guess we're not wearing running shorts.
I don't know what leggings are.
I feel like
leggings
are, you know what leggings are. Tight, they're like tight pants.
I love their tight pants.
So I feel like this, like, to me, I'm like, this is actually a pretty conservative outfit. As far as, like, I would imagine as a person who wears workout clothes.
I'll push back on that. Absolutely. I think you're completely wrong there, Sarah. The leggings are leg grippers. That's how I think of them. They like to grip. They're very tight. They're very form revealing. You see the shape of the person wearing them.
Yes, but if you could see the person's whole leg, would that not be revealing? I'm just saying it could be worse.
It gives more details.
Not that this is bad. It could. This woman, I'm like, she's not even dressed bad. I'm like, this is pretty
It gives
chill.
More detailed definition of the thighs and the more sexual parts, right? Because being able to see your knees and like, oh, I could see your knee. I love a good knee.
I guess, whatever. I just don't even think this is that crazy.
No, I mean, I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, look, if you live in Florida, my question would be like, yeah, this girl's going to be in a bikini someday. You know, in the summer, it's bikinis. Like, give me a break. You're mad about her jogging?
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
what is this whole attitude is so insecure. It's like, what? She's running around. She's not even bothering you. You're bothering her.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it's the misogyny's coming from inside the house. Like,
Absolutely.
if you don't want your husband, like, gaping at some woman, like, slap him on the arm and be like, stop staring.
Yeah, I mean, that is what she did, really. It was pretty trivial. I don't think it was like a serious fight. She gave him literally a slap on the wrist. Sure. And I think what this woman did was like funny. I think she got her. I think it was a great get, you know. It probably didn't feel too good at the time because it was like an own, but like I bet she felt good that day being like, yeah, I did that shit.
Oh, you mean the OP?
Oh yeah, I bet OP's blood was fucking just thick with adrenaline. Just
revenge
pumping.
Boner.
Oh, directly coming at someone like that. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, I think that woman got what was coming to her. Like, she was just being a dick for no reason.
No reason. Jamie M's writes, this is hilarious. Ask stupid questions, get stupid answers. And this post.
Fine. That's the one time I'll allow some variation
Let it happen,
of that phrase.
Sarah.
No, I'm saying this is the one time it's appropriate.
And this post got more likes than like anything we posted. And people don't usually like the post. They comment. No. It's got like 60 something likes. People loved OP. OP was the protagonist. No doubt about it.
Yes.
Sioban. How do you say this? Sioban. Shaban. Shabani Yogurt says NTA, sorry, Shaban S. I'm so sorry, Shaban. Thank you for commenting. NTA, why is no one ever mad at the men for gawking? Always a woman's fault for what she's wearing. You're exercising, not shooting a porno. I mean, you've told me, Sarah, or actually, no, it wasn't you said it this way. It was Janet Hyde, funny comedian. I was on her podcast and I said, look, I stare. Is that okay? I try to catch, whenever I catch myself, I pull my eyes away. And she goes, you know, it's actually okay if you stare as long as you're not making anyone uncomfortable. And I'm like, I'm not. That's why I have binoculars, you know, like.
Stop.
But I felt good about that because I was like, if someone was staring at me, I wouldn't care. I would care if I noticed and then they kept looking at me. That would freak me out.
It's like not a crime to check people out. Like we all do it.
Absolutely.
Everyone does it.
Everyone does it. Asia T writes, okay, clearly YTA for saying something like that, but she shouldn't be calling you out like that either.
I mean, I would like to say I would say something like that, but like, you know, in the moment, I wouldn't think of it. And then I would come up with this in the shower 5 hours after. So I love this response.
Yeah, I don't know why it reads very weird to me, but I guess it is a thing. Super wet. I don't know. I just haven't heard that in a long time.
Just like, actually, yes. It makes me super. I'm like, who talks like that? I'd be like, wet. Actually, you know?
I don't know. Is wet a properly sexy word?
Yes.
It does work.
To men.
To men, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird thing to say to another woman.
Yeah, to men, you're right. It does because men like the wetness. But then moist, everyone gets upset if you say moist. I've never understood that. Why is moist gross? Wet's okay.
It's just the way that it sounds, I think. People just don't like the way the word sounds.
That's fair. Marsha S. writes, I think you are both TA, her for calling you and you for such a disgusting response. Is it? It's not disgusting. Let me tell you that.
It's vulgar.
Vulgar. Not disgusting.
It's vulgar, but I don't care.
How is that? How is being wet gross? That's not gross at all. You know what's gross? Having a yeast infection. That's gross.
It is unpleasant.
It's unpleasant. It smells like bread. It's weird. I ate some. But anyway, Christy is here, right? NTA, she kind of had that coming. It looks like cottage cheese. I hate women who think that workout outfits are asking to be ogled. Yeah, that's crazy. Of course, it's a workout outfit. It should be snug, form-fitting, makes it easy to run. So it's got to be sexy. It's sexy.
This is just a standard workout outfit. Like,
yes.
Come on. You can't be going around in this fucking world being mad at a standard workout outfit.
Yeah, like this.
If she was running around in like a string bikini and running a mile, like,
right.
All right, that would perhaps, I don't know, necessitate a conversation, I guess.
I just imagine this woman like, I saw this slut wearing overalls and a giant puffy winter coat, just letting it all hang out in a hazmat suit, in a Pope mobile. You know,
it's so ridiculous. I'm like, you're not mad at what she's wearing. Like, you're just mad that this woman is attractive.
Yeah.
probably. It's insane.
It was a good line. I think it was a good line. It was vulgar, but look, it hit. It was a hit.
Look, sometimes you have to say like things for shock value to hit. Because like the other alternatives, it just doesn't really hit. And this woman doesn't learn her lesson then.
Exactly. And it wasn't a cuss. I think that was well executed. It was vulgar, but no cussing. It was pretty original. It was pretty original.
Yep.
I think we agree on this. AITA for telling a woman who lives in my complex that, yes, having her husband checks me out turns me on. I'm actually going to go say NTA, but also a big fat YTH. OP can take that home. I
would say YTH.
Not the asshole, and you're the hero. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this is great. You know, that was good. We needed to end on a nice positive situation where someone just freaking trounced their neighbor.
Yeah, you love to see it. We don't see it enough.
You don't see it enough. You can't see it enough, especially in these trying times.
I know, and no one's like allowed outside. I went on a run the other day and like wore a mask, and I was like, I'm going to suffocate.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
It's impossible. Like, what are we supposed to do?
I don't know. I haven't left my apartment since March 8th, 2020. My name is Danny Vega. We're still here. God. We listen to those like apocalyptic.
This is my last will and testament.
Yeah, those like voicemails and you walk into the abandoned apartment and then it's just like, why'd they leave it rewound all set up? I guess.
Right. Or you leave a video that's like, if you're listening to this right now, I'm dead.
Yeah.
The money is under the mattress or whatever.
I feel like some fancy tech guy would leave like a looping video on a computer and it would just be so funny for someone to walk in and then you just see that the screen is like, you know, some error pops up. Just like Windows has failed, you know it would after like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, well, guess that's meaningless. I won't investigate that.
And it's got like the whole murder recorded. Sorry, you just took a left.
Oh, yeah. What?
I don't know.
Well, there are murders in the apocalypse times. It's just no one cares anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of memes about people planning murders. To circle back to people hating their spouse, been seeing a lot of jokes about planning to murder your spouse and getting away with it during quarantine.
Right. Well, as a great man once said, maybe Osama bin Laden called the SEALs in on himself. Huh? All right, guys. Well, stay safe in these trying times, and we will see you next Monday morning.